Right.
Yeah. So I'm really excited because, as you know, my hair product um, that I have created, I'm so excited about it. It is Yummy Hair and Skincare Cream. Don't know if you guys can see that.
I
And
can see it
I,
good.
yep, I haven't really committed to this label. I'm working with a really wonderful girl. Her name is Madeline Whittle. Um, she's very
Ah,
professional.
I
Yeah,
know.
Maddie.
Yeah, Maddie. Yeah, I remember
Maddie,
her. Yeah,
yes.
she's a
Oh
graphic
my,
designer.
yeah, she's a graphic designer.
Mm.
The name of the company escapes me, but I'm gonna, as I keep talking, I'll remember it. She's very professional. Um, she allows you to create your own. She's creating my logo. So she is allowing like my total input. She's very patient, um, very professional. I can't say enough good things about her. So she has really been instrumental in this. So when I'm going to launch it, once I get my um, I have to fall in love with with my logo.
Hmm.
And she's gotten, there's a lot of things that I love, but I'm not in love with it yet. So I'm kind of dating it. I'm just kind of playing around with all the ideas and throwing things out there at her. And she responds very quickly. And, she puts her input, but her main goal is to focus on what I want. And I love that. And her company is called Ambition.
Ambition.
Yes.
All right, great, great. Yeah,
Yep.
Maddie was always cool from growing up. I haven't seen her probably since the VOD days, but I'm glad she's helping you out.
Yeah, she's been great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Um, for me, it was just like any regular day. I'm surprised I even stayed up until New Year's because I usually fall asleep early. But I was in bed and then I noticed, oh, it is New Year's, it is midnight. The fireworks and all that was going on. So
Oh, did you get a lot of them this year like you did last year?
um,
Or-
well, last year I actually celebrated like New Year's, like I was actually out. So
Okay.
but yeah, there was like fireworks like that I could see, but
Mhm.
it wasn't too bad. Like yeah, I usually get annoyed by the fireworks, but it wasn't that bad. But
Okay.
yeah, I was just surprised that I even stayed up for it. But it was just a regular day, honestly. But definitely glad the year is over. And with that being said, let's introduce the podcast. Welcome, family. This is another episode of Bonding with Mater and Sater.
I am Mater, Brooklyn Potts. I am the mother to Seder.
Sater, that is me, James Eaton. So, like we said, we was talking about 2020, and oh, not the wrong one. Jesus, 2020. You can read it, right?
Yes,
Boom.
2020.
Yeah.
There it is. Or should I say there it was?
There it was. Yeah, yeah. It's
Uh-huh.
it's fading, coming and going.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I wanted to ask you, like, obviously 2020 was a very like hard and difficult year for everybody. But
Mhm.
you know, with just recent events and just the fact that we're even here in 2021 with everyone that did pass and didn't even make it through the year, um, what was like your saving grace? What was the something that happened, or the one thing that kept you sane and was like, 2020 sucks, but this if this one thing is making it, okay, I can get through it.
So for me, um, I was going through like almost right on the same day or the same week, just through a difficult personal issues in my life, which, probably later on in the podcast, I will definitely share with people. But for right now, just know that it was personal, very, deep. Um, so it almost threw me into like a depression, definitely a deep funk, so to speak. What the answer to answer your question, what kept me insane was, really talking a lot to you. Um, I'm very fortunate to, have, two other children, plus yourself, you got two sisters, and just really taking the focus off of me, really just trying to help you guys stay grounded. With you being all the way out in Cali, it was a difficult thing for me to, see this happening here, because we were locked down and you were locked down, but you were by yourself. So I did have, your two sisters and your stepsisters and brothers and your dad and your stepfather. So, that kind of helped. But the number one thing, I got like this creative streak that just, I had already had it, and that was my yummy.
Mhm.
Um, I perfected it. I could just see a future in it going, to another level. So I focused on that, my creative, the creative part of me just became alive, because everything else was just so dormant, and just, it was like gloom and doom. So
Mm.
that really just kind of saved me.
Right.
Yeah. What about you?
I'd say for me, it was definitely me getting this new job that I literally started like right before, like probably like a month before or a few weeks before quarantine.
Mhm.
So, that was my saving grace, because that was such a very like difficult time. Like I was fumbling. I was trying to, I was going to pick another job to where I was going to be doing bank security and working like literally almost every day besides Sunday. And if I would have picked that, I probably would have started that job right when quarantine happened, and S would have hit the fan. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, but just having the job that I have now, it allowed me to just have like human interaction and
Mhm.
not be so busy, because when my schedule is, I only have to work 3 days and then I have the rest of the week off. So I had a very healthy work life balance, even though there wasn't really much going on outside of work in my personal life. But you know having those days off allowed me to come and visit you guys twice in a year,
Yes. Yeah, that
which
was
was
wonderful.
great. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So yeah, that was definitely my saving grace. And my job is very, it's not stressful at all. I can go there, do my work, and be around good people. I really enjoy the people
Mhm.
I work with. I even hang out with them sometimes, once in the blue outside of work.
Okay.
So definitely this year, getting that job, it was my saving grace, because it just allowed me to be sane and do as much as I wanted to within this quarantine.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Great.
yeah.
Great. Well, I definitely don't want to see another year like 2020. Like I said, I will focus towards the future and really leave the past, behind me, kissing 2020, goodbye, and just embracing every good thing that 2021 has to offer. And I just, I see it being, better. We're going to have a new president, um, just a whole new, coming out, with the new vaccine, coming along, even though I'm not going to take it. But, it's giving some people hope, and, and I just pray that, the vaccine works, and that, that'll be something that a worry that's going to be in the past, and that we can move forward and, just eradicate, I think COVID will kind of be here, remnants of it, but that we'll get control over it, and it'll be something as simple like as the measles that we can just, knock it right out.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, hopefully, I definitely think that that we're not out of the woods yet, but the worst has happened,
Hmm.
and that things are going to get better, incrementally.
Right.
Yeah, I'm hopeful for that, but I'm keeping a level head about everything. But yeah, 2020 was definitely a learning lesson. We lost a lot, lost a lot of people. Not
Yes.
even just just family members and people that but just celebrities that you think are just immortal, that you think
Mm.
they're just going to be here for our entertainment forever. But speaking of that, we did lose Chadwick Boseman among others, but that was one of the ones that hit me personally very
Yes. Yeah.
hard.
Oh, and also, I think you need to, even though Kobe didn't, he wasn't affected by, COVID, he still, just passed away. And that hit you kind of personally too, because, you had just, you know, if you want to go into that.
Yeah, literally what, 3 weeks ago, my friend Will, shout out to Will, he invited me to the screening for it was Michael B. Jordan and Jamie Foxx's movie Just Mercy. And I don't know the specifics, but in my mind, I felt like Kobe Bryant like bought out the whole theater, and we had a theater, and it was like celebrities and people that you recognize that are in the industry, and there was
Hmm.
cameras there. I'm just saying, like, why is there like cameras here? Like, what's going on? And we're just sitting there waiting for the movie to start, and then just nonchalantly you just see someone walk by, you don't really know who it is, and then he faces the crowd and it's like, it's Kobe.
Hmm.
And everyone loses their mind, but he just walked in all nonchalantly like he wasn't even
Hmm.
Kobe,
Well,
and
he walked in with like the whole cast, right? Or how
he walked in by himself first to
by
introduce
himself?
the film.
I got you.
Yeah, to
Yes.
introduce the film. And
Hmm.
he did that. We I can't remember if I yeah, I think he introduced the film first, and then the whole cast walked out.
Hmm.
And then after they left, I think we watched the movie. Like, the movie started after that.
So you witnessed all that black excellence
Oh my God.
and one night, and
Yeah.
it was like 3 weeks before, you know, yeah, the tragedy happened with he and his daughter and the other people that were on the or in the helicopter with them.
Right. Yeah. So
So yeah,
it was pretty sad. It was pretty sad.
yep.
Yeah,
So
but yeah. So speaking of Chadwick Boseman, his final performance was Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Did you get the chance to see it?
I did not. I did not see it. I have seen like little clips of it.
Mm-hmm.
Viola Davis, that's my girl. When I came there to visit you
Mm-hmm.
and you were working at the studio that she was doing
How to Get Away with Murder.
How to Get Away with Murder. And I got a chance, I stood in her parking space. It was reserved for Viola Davis. And
Mm.
I was quite happy with that.
Yeah, yeah. I think you got a
So
picture, right? I think you took a picture.
I did. I took a picture.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just very inspirational because of how she had such a humbleness to her, even within her craft. It's like
Mm-hmm.
she goes 100, she gives you everything. Nappy hair, her crying scenes is like real snot. I
Yeah.
mean, she goes
Mhm.
in. And you have to respect that because most women, they're not going to show you their natural, what's up under a wig or what's. So thinking about that movie, Mending Fences. I think the
It's,
name was it something Fences.
I
The
think
Denzel
it's just
Washington
fences. Yeah, it's
Fences,
fences.
yeah. So yeah, so hats off to Viola Davis.
Yeah.
Love her. Um, so the I've seen clips of this new movie, and I can't wait to see it because it just seems like it's further a raw, um, demonstration of her craft.
Yeah, yeah, no, she definitely killed her performance in this movie. And it's funny you brought up Fences because this is actually a play written by the same person,
Okay.
August Wilson. So he wrote Fences and he wrote Marini's Black Bottom. And I think Denzel directed Fences, and I think he was in line to direct this as well, but he
Hmm.
ended up being a producer on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Nice.
and do you know about Denzel's connection to Chadwick Boseman?
No.
So back when Chadwick, probably before I even seen him on Lincoln Heights, he was
Hmm.
in acting school, and he was taking a class that was being taught by Felicia Rashad.
Okay. I love
And
her.
right, and she reached out to celebrities to like fund a trip for her students to go like to study acting in London. And the person that ended up paying for Chadwick Boseman was Denzel Washington.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so when Chadwick found it out, years later, I think they're at the Black Panther premiere, he meets Denzel for the first time, and he says, "Yeah, you, I don't know if you remember this, but you was the person that paid for my London classes, my acting classes." And he's like, "Yeah, I know. That's why I'm here. I'm here to collect. I'm here to get my
Mm.
money back."
Nice.
Yeah, so
Nice. Yeah.
it was refreshing to see that they've actually worked together before Chadwick's passing. So Denzel, he produced this movie. So yeah, this was Chadwick's last performance. Um, I think this year the only other thing he did was Spike Lee's movie, The Five Bloods. You need to watch that too if you didn't.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, that one's good. That one, it's like those last two movies, they're both on Netflix. Um, they really capture like the spirit of who Chadwick Boseman is, especially the Five Bloods. Just the way his character is painted is how people look at Chadwick, and especially since he passed, it's like, oh, like he really was that person.
Mm.
And watching this movie, Marini's Black Bottom, his performance is like, I always have this thing where it's like I said, when people pass, is like people jump on the bandwagon, and artists and actors, they start winning awards and getting nominations,
Yeah,
and
right.
it feels like it's like kind of cheap, but I don't think it's. I think either way, if he was still here, he'd be in the conversation. He'd be nominated because he really did outdo
Okay.
himself. I still think that James Brown was probably his best performance, probably only because it was like a full fleshed out movie that he had to lead.
Okay.
Even though he was the lead in this, but it wasn't so much on his hands in the way that James Brown was.
Okay.
But he really did outdo himself for this final performance. So
Okay.
this is
Mm.
it was really good. But I also was oh, and then like I said, Viola Davis, she killed. She really brought that Marini character, because the movie is really about her, but she
Mm.
she really brought her character to life, and
Okay.
stole every scene that she was in. So I definitely
Nice.
recommend you to watch it, and the listeners to watch it as well. But
Okay.
yeah, then also too, I thought this was it was I really enjoyed the movie, but it wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting it to be more of like a spectacle, but because it is like based off a play,
Okay.
how plays are kind of like condensed, and like the whole movie or play is going to be in like two places. Like the whole thing could take place in like the living room or something like that.
Right. Okay.
That's how it translates here because it's based on a play. So I was thinking
Okay.
it was going to be like this whole period piece of like in different places, kind of in the same vein of like um a Great Gatsby or something like that. I thought it was going to be like extravagant.
Oh,
Yeah,
got you.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
It really wasn't, but the the content of the the theme and the moral of the play is very important, and it's still, you know, pertinent today, especially when it
Hmm.
comes to like entertainers and how they deal with you know the corporate and business entities that are
Hmm.
often, you know, rooted in racism
Hmm.
and you know, dealing with white people owning your work and your talent and controlling, you know, what you have to do.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of, especially probably during, well, not probably, but during that time, just, equality for, Black people. And, and I have to, me, what a Black person is, and it's not just people of color, but it's, people who were born here, in America that has, ancestors that have been, um, that were, enslaved, made to do free labor, for the gain of, people that are, that were white. And it was not um, any way possible that these people could have access to the things that white people had. So they just kind of had to allow a lot of them, not that they had to allow them, but it was the only way that they were going to get recognized or, promoted or, noticed, but then still not get the credit. Somebody else would get the credit and get the profits
Yep.
of the work that they did. So I do kind of have I don't, the political correct way of saying, people of color, I don't think that that's, correct at all. I think
Mhm.
Black people need to be recognized, for just what it was. And because you can be, a person of color and, come from someplace else and come to America and, reap well, whatever small benefits that is allotted, to Black people, you fall into the same category, as racial injustice. But the real racial injustice really was created during slavery.
Right. Exactly.
So
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Yep.
yeah.
So
So kudos to you know, to that film and shining some light on, things like that because Hollywood is just it's a wonderful place. It's, you're out there, in Cali. Um, Even still to this day, just a lot of the stars that are Black do not get the recognition, and along with people of color don't get the recognition that they deserve.
mm,
And it's just time for some light to be shedded on it and a change to, come. Hence,
yeah.
2021.
Right. Yeah. And I really do feel like we're in the midst of that change. It's the shift is happening before our very eyes, and you know, things like that are being helmed by the Denzel Washingtons and the Viola Davises of the industry. Um, and you know, shout out to you know, Netflix for even putting films like that. I remember when the whole protest stuff was happening. You know, companies kind of jumped on to, oh, you know, we support Black people, and oh,
Hmm.
put, you know, we do Black this and Black that and da da da. I really do feel that Netflix has always been kind of in the forefront of, you know, making just Black people and you know, other people of color heard and getting their just due. So
Yeah. And
it,
instead of saying like, "Oh, we got Black friends,"
right, yeah, 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 yeah.
you
Netflix,
know.
they don't, they do right by and showcasing us, and you know what I mean, showcasing our talent and also allowing us to own the stuff that we do.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's always a wonderful thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman again. We were just seeing this film, man. We were definitely robbed of a great talent. But you know,
Yes.
he definitely did do all he could while he had the time to do it. So, you know, rest in peace to him, and everyone definitely needs to go see this movie. Yep. So going from there, I guess we can get into another movie that I saw, Soul. I just watched it a few hours ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
And what did you think?
it was great. I cried.
Did you?
I cried. Yeah, yeah. You know, I'm a crybaby anyway.
Yeah, no, and it's funny because like, and I don't have anything to go off of except for what you're saying.
Mhm.
Takia said she watched it and she said she didn't care for it that much.
Hmm.
Yeah, she said she didn't care for it. She said she just did not get it. It wasn't what she expected.
Hmm.
So,
I didn't talk to
you
her.
know, yeah, that's really, uh, um, a conversation you guys should have,
Yeah.
about it. But so me just hearing a little bit that she said about it, I don't know if it's. I kind of like to see things before I get anybody else's, opinion
Mhm.
about it, because then I'm always trying to, I got what they said in the back of my mind.
Right.
But so what did you find, good about it without giving too much away,
I just think that
before I see it?
the purpose of this film is it ties into a lot of what people learned from this year, which was to be just thankful for not even really what you have, because that's not really what this movie's about, but just thankful for life within itself. We lost
Okay.
just so many people this year.
Mhm.
And this movie really touches on just the simplicity and the miracle that just life is in general. Just that I'm even having a conversation with you, you know what I mean, from on two different coasts, that we have the technology to do this, that I'm able to pay my bills, to have internet, to to even have this conversation with you when there's people that aren't working, there's people that are
Mm.
unemployed, there's people that are homeless, especially out here. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? So there's it just this the nature of the film was just rooted in that, just being thankful for life, period. So once that got into my psyche, and the message that the film was trying to convey, yeah, it brought me to tears.
Okay.
Hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's just like everybody, you can put 10 people, in the same room to watch one movie, and everybody gets a different perspective, from it. And I think that that's a great thing, and because of the artist, really just kind of forces, everybody to really expound on their different perspective of what's going on in the movie. And I think that's great.
Yeah, yeah.
Even, whether they get, sometimes, the critics, that give bad reviews, you got to have the bad in order, for it to be good.
Hmm.
So, okay. So we
Yeah,
got a good one and a bad one, and we'll see
yeah,
what I
yeah.
come up with when I see it.
Yeah, but both films were definitely like praised by critics. It wasn't just something that
Hmm.
like um that people just saw and like it's a black thing and just wrote it off. But no, this is definitely one of the best Pixar movies that I've seen in a while.
Hmm. And I hear, um, the guy that wrote it, he's black too. What's his name? Do you know?
Oh, oh, something. I'm going to butcher it, but I'm thinking it's something Proctor or something like that. But
Okay.
kind of was like researching about like the film a little bit, like
Hmm.
who was in it and who was involved. But I think Proctor. But
Okay.
yeah,
And I think I may have heard that he might be the first one to produce a first black, to produce,
a Pixar movie.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So kudos to Disney for,
yeah.
putting out people,
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah, it's mostly a black cast and black characters. You know what I mean,
which brings me to the thought of Oprah selling OWN.
Oprah sold on.
Oprah sold OWN. And it escapes me to who she sold it to. But she had sold some shares of the company, um, before, I think like maybe 25%. And then she sold the other 75%, from what I understand, for pretty cheap. So I think Oprah, when you think about the stock market and just the financial end of it. Oprah's not a dummy.
Hmm.
She's not this billionaire. She didn't become that way by being a dummy. So I think a lot of people are getting away from, networks like, network TVs, and they're doing more of the streaming, with the Fire Sticks and stuff. So life is changing how we know it, due to COVID.
Hmm.
So people are really just, really moving towards, streaming. Comcast and what is it, Xfinity. Um, I don't think they're going to be these big moguls, if that's a, term for the entertainment business, like they have been in the
Hmm.
past.
Yeah, there's definitely
So
going to be more players involved for sure.
yeah, yeah, everything is not, and I don't think, because I don't know how it is now. Has Hollywood opened up? Are people back in the studios, um, creating? Like, how much creativity is going on in the area of acting the way we used to know it? You
Um,
know?
there's definitely people working behind the scenes, but it's not. You're not gonna. But those are like more of the bigger productions that are like
Hmm.
that they're trying to get these movies made and trying to get them on, if not in theaters, they're on the HBO Maxes, the Netflixes of the world. So those people are still
Hmm.
working,
Yeah.
but like the smaller things, the smaller movies and productions are definitely shut down.
Hmm.
You know, so yeah.
And which I think is going to force a lot of more creativity, which I'm looking forward to.
Mhm.
Which I'm going to say, we were our first. This is only our second, you know, um, podcast, but the first one, we kind of entered that before, you know, um, COVID happened. And I think we were really pretty much on to something, because things aren't, like you was just expressing to me the other day, aren't as polished and, um, perfect, and people just really have to use their raw, um, imagination,
Yeah,
talent and creativity.
and it has have to.
Which I think it. I'm sorry, not to cut you off, but I just think it just shows the more natural person, which is really what we want to see.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
The fat's been cut off. It's just
yeah.
it's lean meat.
I like how you said that. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
lean meat. It's down to the, either you're gonna eat it down to the bone, or you're just gonna, you know,
Or not eat.
toss it out.
Yeah.
That's
Or
it.
starve. Yeah. So yeah, that's the beauty of it. People are making do with less, and I kind of like, I can tell that I'm becoming more of a minimalist. I don't like having a lot of things. I don't even
Hmm.
want a lot of things. I'd be happy when I throw stuff away. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Yeah,
yeah.
well, okay, look, I got more space for new stuff.
It's freedom. It's a lot of freedom in it, and I think that's what we're moving towards. I think a lot of people, are moving toward that. It's changing the dynamics, even just with not having physical money in your hand.
Mm,
Thinking about, like, the way we do currency now. Most people pay with their debit card, credit cards, or whatever, or you got the cash apps and stuff like that. So I don't know if that's taking the value off of some things. Like you said, we're not as apt to be out shopping like we used to. We do things online. Um, or just some things we just figure, I'm just gonna do without.
right.
I really don't need that.
Yeah, yeah. And it's good to be in that mindset.
Yeah, right.
Definitely good
So,
to be in that mindset. So yeah, that's it. That's all that I got on my plate that I want to get to. Glad to be in 2021. And if you haven't seen Marini's Black Bottom or Soul yet, I definitely would recommend it. Look
mhm.
for definitely to see Takia's opinion on Soul and what you think about both movies when you see it.
Okay. So, people don't know who Takia is. Takia is my, well, she's the oldest sibling of seven. She is my oldest stepdaughter, and, James's stepsister. So definitely gonna watch that movie and talk to her about it, and then, get back to you. So, but on the other hand, speaking of family, so
Wait,
to the
hold on, 1 second.
okay.
Hold on. Let me get myself together real quick.
Oh, we have to make me a little a meme.
Yeah, I wonder if that like my little picture is gonna show on the.
Yeah, I'm looking at your picture, a meme of you.
Yeah.
I love that. You got to put Seder down there.
Yeah. We'll make you one for sure. I'm gonna stop
Yes.
recording for 1 second.
Okay. Yeah. Don't judge me. Okay. So, sadly, um, Aries is um, hmm, she's terminally ill. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to you got any final words you want to say?
Yeah, I just remember the times being young and singing into the fan and hearing our voices sound like robots, and I just thought that I just thought that my kids would be able to sing into the fan too, and no.
That's really sad. That has really made me sad that you would say that, because that would have been a great, story.
Yeah.
And Aries has some stories. Yeah, you do. Look at her. I think she's trying to, you know. Okay, so
We gotta let the past go.
with that being said,
All right. Well,
she lived a good life. She
it's
served her purpose,
for a purpose, Ben.
and I'm gonna have to replace her.
Well, on that note, we'll end the show with that. Rest in peace, Aries #2. Until next time, guys. Toodles.
She gets to go and be with Aries 1.
Yeah. Rest in peace. Bye bye.
And I take with me the memory, be my sunshine after the rain. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday.
It's on?
Yes.
Is it on high?
Yes.
What?
I believe she came back. Yeah.
If for now everyone stay tuned.
Are you still taping?
I put it. I'm recording. I put it back on now.
Yes, Aries, girl.
Aries #2. Yeah, it's false alarm. False alarm.
False alarm. Don't count it out.
False alarm. Don't count it out. Don't
It's
count
a
out
miracle.
The miracle.
It's a miracle. Look
We
at
start in
that.
2021 off
Look
right.
at God. Thank ya.
You'll start shouting. All right. All right, guys. We're out of here. False alarm. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, other hand. Bye.
Okay. Love you, son.
Later.
Okay. Bye.